Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're focusing on Shopify. You shared a really interesting set of information with us, a detailed due diligence report from 2025, some recent news updates, and an overview of the company. Our goal here is to sort of pull out the most important insights from all of this, really give you a clear picture of where Shopify stands right now and, well, what the future might hold.
Okay, let's start with a baseline maybe, just get everyone on the same page. Shopify, it's this Canadian e-commerce giant, right? They basically help businesses sell their products, both online and, interestingly, in physical stores too.
Right, the whole package.
And the scale is pretty striking. As of 2024, they had over, 5.6 million active stores using their platform.
5.6 million, wow.
Across more than 175 countries. So that global footprint is significant, really tells you something about their reach.
And those sources you mentioned, they definitely highlight some pretty big financial trends. For the full year 2024, Shopify's revenue, it saw a really substantial increase, up 26%.
26%.
And what's interesting is that growth actually picked up speed in the fourth quarter. It hit 31%.
That acceleration is notable.
It really is. This sort of consistent upward trend in revenue growth. That's something crucial for us to unpack, I think.
Well, the compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, over the past few years, it's been north of 25%.
Over 25% consistently. That signals some serious momentum, doesn't it? That kind of sustained growth, it's not always easy to come by.
Not at all. And it's not just the top line, the revenue. We're also seeing, positive movement in their cash generation.
The free cash flow.
That's right. The free cash flow margin, basically, the cash left after they run the business and invest in it, that increased pretty impressively. It hit 22% in the fourth quarter of 2024.
22% in Q4.
And the full-year margin was solid, too, at 18%.
So this suggests Shopify isn't just, like, growing sales. It's getting better at turning those sales into actual cash.
That's the idea. And that Q4 figure, 22%, that's particularly strong, shows increasing efficiency.
It's also worth pointing out, I think, that while we don't have the specific earnings per share figures right in front of us for this latest period, the net income, that's shown substantial increases. So for you listening, this points towards, alongside that revenue growth, they're also improving their operational efficiency. More of the money coming in is actually ending up as profit.
And that consistent revenue growth, that CAGR over 25% you mentioned, the due diligence report really emphasizes that. It doesn't look like a fluke.
No, it seems like a sustained trend, probably driven by getting more merchants on board and some smart strategic moves.
And what's particularly interesting about that increased free cash flow margin, that 22% in Q4, is what it suggests about how durable their growth might be. Lots of companies can grow fast, right?
True.
But generating more cash as they get bigger, that points to a really healthy underlying business model, efficient operations.
That 22% really is a strong signal of that efficiency. Now, the report also touched on earnings per share, EPS, like we said. No exact recent numbers here, but the fact that net income jumped significantly, it definitely suggests things are moving in the right direction there.
Right. It implies they're not just making more money overall, but maybe a larger slice of that revenue is turning into actual profit for the company itself.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, that improved operational efficiency probably comes from, the scalability of their platform.
That seems likely. As they add more merchants, they can leverage their existing tech, their infrastructure, which doesn't necessarily need to grow at the exact same pace as their customer base.
That's a huge advantage in tech, isn't it?
A significant one.
Okay, so the sources also gave us some insights into the broader business environment and where Shopify fits in. It looks like they've carved out a pretty strong competitive edge for themselves.
I'd say so. What really stands out is, first, their brand recognition is quite strong. And second, just the sheer breadth of their platform.
The range of tools.
The range of tools and services, yeah. It simplifies things immensely for businesses because they can manage pretty much everything e-commerce related in one spot.
That creates that stickiness factor, I suppose.
Yeah.
Merchants don't want to leave.
It helps with retention, absolutely. And it also makes them a really attractive option for new businesses just starting out.
And they're really positioned as a leader in this whole e-commerce platform market. That's quite something when you think about how many choices businesses have now.
It does raise a key question, though. What's actually driving this consistent growth we keep talking about?
Good question.
Well, your sources seem to point towards a few things. Their expansion into international markets, for one.
Going global.
Then there's the B2B e-commerce space, that's business to business selling online, which is growing rapidly, and also the strategic partnerships they've been forming.
Okay, so international B2B partnerships. Those seem to be the main engines.
They appear to be the key drivers fueling that consistent revenue growth we saw earlier.
But it's not all smooth sailing, is it? The sources also flag some potential, let's call them headwinds, on the horizon for Shopify.
There are always risks. Regulatory changes, for instance, within e-commerce. Things like data privacy laws are always evolving and can impact how online businesses operate. You have to watch that closely.
Definitely.
And then, of course, technology just moves incredibly fast, so they need to constantly innovate to stay ahead, to keep their edge.
And the competition isn't sleeping either?
Never. Competition from other major platforms is a persistent factor they have to deal with.
The due diligence report actually mentioned a couple of key leaders, Harley Finkelstein, the president, and Jeff Hoffmeister, the CFO. It suggested they've been pretty crucial in, well, driving Shopify's growth and handling the financial strategy.
Strong leadership is vital, isn't it? Especially in a sector that's as dynamic and competitive as e-commerce. Their experience, their strategic vision, it likely plays a huge role in navigating those risks we just mentioned and also grabbing those growth opportunities.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Thinking about valuation and risk.
Mhm.
One thing that jumped out from your materials was that Shopify doesn't currently pay dividends.
Ah, right.
It seems like their strategy is very much about plowing profits back into the business for more growth.
That's pretty standard playbook for growth-focused companies, especially in tech. The thinking is they believe they can generate a better return for shareholders long-term by reinvesting that cash,
How so?
by using it to fuel more expansion, develop new products, maybe make strategic acquisitions, rather than just distributing it as dividends right now.
Makes sense. The due diligence report also briefly touched on how Shopify's growth and profitability metrics stack up against others in the industry. It suggested they compare pretty favorably.
Right, so they're not just growing in a vacuum. They seem to be performing well relative to their competitors, too, based on those metrics.
And if we connect this back to some of the recent news updates you shared, it seems Shopify has been busy expanding its offerings. Strategic partnerships, investments in things like AI.
Even exploring offline retail opportunities, I believe.
Really? Okay. That all aligns perfectly with that strategy of reinvesting for growth, trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Some competitive.
And it's interesting then, isn't it, that despite this strong revenue growth and all these seemingly positive moves, the stock price, well, it's actually seen a bit of a decline recently. It closed at $83.71 on April 12th, 2025.
That is interesting. And what makes it particularly noteworthy for listeners is this potential disconnect. You've got strong underlying business performance, that impressive revenue growth, healthy cash flow, but the stock price has moved down lately.
And the timing.
Yeah.
Your sources mentioned they announced their Q4 and full year 2024 results back in February 2025, right?
Yeah.
Reporting that big 31% Q4 growth, 26% for the year, those strong cash flow margins.
All positive numbers.
But the report also pointed out that they didn't quite meet earnings expectations in that latest report.
Ah,
Could that be a primary reason for this recent dip in the stock price? What do you think?
that's a very plausible explanation. While strong revenue growth is great, investors watch profitability very closely too. Missing earnings targets. Well, it can signal to the market that maybe the growth is costing more than expected.
Or maybe there are other factors squeezing profits.
Could be. Or other underlying factors affecting their ability to convert that revenue into profit as efficiently as analysts hoped. It raises questions.
It's also important to remember, as the company overview you provided highlighted, the stock has been somewhat volatile, both in the past month and looking back over the past year.
That's true. Broader market sentiment, overall economic conditions, they always play a role, especially with growth stocks like Shopify. They can be more sensitive to market swings and just general investor confidence levels.
And there's that planned move, changing their U.S. stock listing to Nasdaq, while keeping the Toronto listing.
Right. That kind of change, while maybe procedural, could also introduce some short-term price wiggles as investors adjust.
So despite this recent price action, the feeling among analysts seems, well, still relatively optimistic. Your sources mentioned a moderate buy rating.
With a consensus price target that's significantly higher than where the stock is trading right now.
That's quite a gap, isn't it, between the recent price and where analysts think it could go?
It brings up a really important question for anyone watching Shopify. Why this continued optimism from analysts?
What are they seeing?
They're likely looking beyond just the latest earnings miss. They're probably focusing on the longer-term growth potential, Shopify's strong market position, those strategic initiatives we talked about, the partnerships, B2B, international.
So they might see this dip as an opportunity.
Potentially. They might believe the recent pullback actually presents a buying opportunity if they still see the fundamental business as strong and on the right track.
Now, the company overview you shared also flags some potential red flags, things like the stock's volatility, which we mentioned, and a relatively high price-to-earnings ratio, the PE ratio,
A PE of 54.01, I think it said.
which is quite high. That could suggest the stock is trading at a premium compared to its current earnings, right? Often reflecting those high expectations for future growth.
It does. And if we connect this back to their decision not to pay dividends,
Right. It reinforces that idea.
it reinforces the idea that Shopify investors are primarily banking on future stock price appreciation driven by that growth, rather than immediate income from dividends. A higher PE often comes with that territory, with those high growth expectations baked in.
The overview did also highlight several strengths, to be fair. Robust revenue growth, expanding market share, strategic acquisitions like Vantage Discovery.
Those are likely the factors bolstering that more positive long-term outlook, even with the recent stock pullback.
And thinking about their competition, they're clearly a leader, but they are up against platforms like BigCommerce, WooCommerce.
It's a competitive space. But the fact that Shopify has such a massive base of merchants already, and they keep innovating with things like Shopify Magic, their AI tools, it suggests they're working hard to keep and maybe even strengthen that competitive advantage.
Okay, so let's try to synthesize these key points for everyone listening. What really seems to stand out is, number one, Shopify's strong, consistent revenue growth. Number two, their increasing ability to generate cash from that revenue. And number three, their dominant position in a market e-commerce that's still growing.
And the drivers behind that seem pretty clear. Their strategic focus on expanding internationally, really pushing into that B2B sector, and forming those key partnerships, those appear to be working for them.
However,
How?
and there's always a however, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's crucial to acknowledge those potential headwinds your sources identified.
Absolutely. Competition isn't going away. The regulatory environment for e-commerce is always shifting, and they absolutely need to keep up with technological change. That's constant pressure.
And that recent dip in the stock price, even with the strong revenue numbers, it really indicates the market is looking at more than just the top line, doesn't it? Perhaps reacting strongly to those missed earnings expectations.
The market seems sensitive to profitability right now, yes.
Your sources also point to that moderate buy analyst rating, though, and that consensus price target being considerably higher than the recent stock price.
That divergence is something important for listeners to think about. Why do analysts remain relatively optimistic despite the recent stock performance? What factors are they weighing most heavily? That's a key question.
Definitely something to mull over.
And finally, circling back to dividends, the fact that Shopify chooses not to pay them, instead reinvesting profits back into the business, it really speaks volumes about their current strategy.
It clearly signals a company laser-focused on expansion, on growth, on solidifying its market leadership.
That's the priority.
So this overview gives you a snapshot based on the information provided, which takes us up to about April 2025. But the e-commerce world moves fast. So it'll be really important for you to keep an eye on future earnings reports, any new strategic moves Shopify announces, and just the general competitive vibe in the industry.
Things can change quickly.
What further questions does this initial exploration spark for you listening at home? Are there specific areas you'd want us to dig into more in the future? Let us know. And if you found this insightful, please do remember to subscribe, like, and maybe leave a comment. We're always looking for ways to make these explorations as valuable as possible for you.